What's going on, everybody? You have reached another episode of the NRW Checkpoint with your host, myself, WebsterStyle, the man, the voice, the fragrance, and of course, I'm always joined by my man, Brian Sapph. Brian, how are you today?
Doing okay. Yourself?
Doing all right, man. Can't complain. It's been a long, busy day. Good weekend, though. Can't complain about that.
Good.
Let's jump into the releases now. First up, again, we have been very RPG heavy. Really, what is already June's just about over all year. In this case, Disgaea 6 Complete. So the complete edition of Disgaea is coming out for PS4 and PS5, as well as PC. And this is it's the sixth one. So, if you're not familiar with this series by now, where have you been for the past, I don't know, 10, 15 years? So that's now coming out for PC and PS4 and PS5. Have you played this Disgaea series, Brian?
No, I've always heard about it. Never sat down and just got into it. But I don't know. We on 6 now. So.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I've never played them either. So I don't know. I like RPGs, and the phone fell. I like RPGs, but I would say there aren't a lot that I typically get into like that. They are, especially now at this point in my life, I'm very much about getting in and getting out. RPGs are something that I really used to play a long time ago when I had that kind of time, and I was able to stay up late at night and still get up and go to a job like 8 in the morning. I can't do that now.
Times change.
Times are definitely changing.
But
all right, so that's Disgaea 6 Complete. Next up, we have DNF Duel, and this was for the another PlayStation exclusive, PlayStation 4, 5, and PC. And this is a fighting game. And from when I was reading, I think this is like this is an older series that somebody's bringing back. I believe when I was looking it up, part of the team or company behind, was it Blaze Blue? Is it? Am I getting my games confused? I think I am.
I mean, that's the game. That's the game.
Is it a fighting game?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I think Blaze Blue. And there was another game that they did that was really popular, 2D sprite based fighter.
Guilty Gear?
Yes, that's what it is. Guilty Gear. Thank you. Yeah. I believe if not some of the dev team, but the company behind it is also in cahoots with DNF Duel as well. But we're watching the trailer for that a little bit later. So it's a 2D sprite based fighter.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong with that.
No, you can't. We was just talking last week about bringing back Marvel vs. Capcom.
Exactly.
And yeah, I can see it.
All right. Next up is we got a lot of DLC this week. No pun intended with this.
What's that?
Cuphead.
Cuphead.
This is a game that I love and hate at the same time. I think I skipped something, but we all right. Love and hate at the same time. It's a game that I love the art design. I love the art style. I'm very much a fan of the old classic animation. The fact that they hand you everything is amazing. But the game is hard. Oh my God, it's hard.
I never played Cuphead.
It's hard.
I can tell by the way you said that is extremely hard.
I am certainly not of the gaming pedigree I used to be, so it is quite challenging for me. But it's a game that is beautiful. I mean, hey, the property is spawned a Netflix animated series, so hey, it's definitely done well for himself. And I just love the fact, I believe is MHR, I always forget the studio's name, the sort of love that they put into it, and I'm always marvelous at that. Anyway, the Delicious Last Course, or DLC for Cuphead, is coming out with new bosses, new boys, and also new characters. They still haven't said if there's an easy mode or not. I hope so. But that's dropping for all systems on the 30th of June. So I'm definitely looking forward to that one.
Yeah, I'm watching the trailer for that later, so
Yes,
I'm
yes, we
interested.
are. And I love the artistry they put into just even the announcement trailer. I love. We talked before how we love just how there's some creators that create, and there's some creators that just they stand out in what they do and how they present. And the team behind Cuphead just has done that consistently.
True. Okay.
So next up is Escape Academy, and that's coming out for PS4 family systems, PlayStation family systems, Xbox family systems, as well as PC. A lot of non-love to the Switch so far this week, but I think is that changing?
Cuphead's supposed to be on Switch.
That's changing. Yeah, that's on the Switch. Yeah, but that's pretty much Cuphead's on everything. So it goes without saying. And this is a puzzle game. I believe this is dropping day one on Game Pass. I'm not sure. I think we are watching the trailer for that, so it'll be interesting to see also. It looks interesting. It looks kind of like that first person adventure sort of puzzle style game, looking at the trailer, so it looks fun as well.
Right. Yeah, Nintendo, they're gearing up to take over the fall and winter season, so we're not going to see much from them in the summertime, but when fall comes, it's another story.
Right. All right. Next up, we have MX versus ATV Legends. I'm skipping, but we're all good. I'll go back to that one. And that's for the PlayStation family systems 4 and 5, Xbox family systems 1, S and X, and then PC. And this is a racing game. And correct me if I'm wrong, was it MX versus ATV PlayStation exclusive series at one point in time, like way back in the day?
Yeah. No, maybe. Dirt. No, I don't know.
I feel like it was, and I may be thinking like PS2 era, because when I saw this coming out, first of all, I'm like, they're still making these games. Second of all, I said, wasn't this a PlayStation exclusive at one point? But
they could have been. I never was into like motocross and ATV like racing games. Like if I was gonna pick up a racing game, it'd probably be like Midnight Club or something, or
exactly.
But I don't know. I feel like you're right though. I vaguely remember at some point playing like a PlayStation holiday like demo disc, and they had a motocross game on there. Maybe that was it, but I don't remember.
Okay.
Either way.
It's just like you said, it's motocross, it's MX ATVs versus ATV. So is that off-road racing sort of thing? And if if that's your stick, then this will be right up your alley. If it's not, then you'll probably want to pass.
I mean, those games tend to be fun, like depending on the course design. Like, there's not really much you could do to motocrosses and ATVs and all that stuff like that. They less advanced versions of like cars and motorcycles. They just they're for fun riding. They're not necessarily things to trick out. But like I said, course design, if the course design is there, then it'll be fun.
Right, exactly.
ATV Legends. I wonder if they're gonna have obviously there'll be some multiplayer component at this point in time. It's 2022. It better be online.
You would think so.
Interesting.
Yeah, you would definitely think so. It'd be an online component for something like this. Definitely. I would hope so. In this case,
hopefully, because I don't know how to feel about MX versus ATV Legends. I don't know, but I guess it's still a genre, right? I guess people still they ride ATVs and dirt bikes in real life. So why not a video game?
No, I agree. That it's funny. A lot of things you don't think a lot of people went into, but clearly a series has persisted for a long time. So it's definitely one that is going to continue to go on.
Should anyway.
So that's that with ATV or MX versus ATV Legends. Let's go on to Fobia Saint Dinfna Hotel, and I believe this is a DLC or for the game Fobia, and this is an action game. It's on the PlayStation 4 and 5, Xbox One, SX, and the PC.
Okay.
So I'm not familiar with this game, but I know I've heard of it before.
Fobia.
Yeah, Fobia. So it's it looks pretty cool. I just Haven't played it.
Me either. Probably my first time hearing about it. What is an action game though? What's the like
action game.
What kind of action? Like
Things like third person shooter kind of action, if I remember correctly. Okay. I may be wrong though.
I mean, if it got a DLC, it must be doing all right. So
yeah, exactly. Well, you would think so, because we're gonna get to another DLC where the publisher said it wasn't doing all right. So you know.
Yeah. And I agree. I feel like I know what you're talking about. and I agree the game is not doing all right. Well, hopefully this will reinvigorate it. I think, because what you have here was Monster Hunter.
Well, let's skip to that one. Let's skip that one. All right, so the next one,
okay,
Outriders Outriders Worldslayer, and that's for the PS4, 5, Xbox One, SX, Stadia, and PC. And this is the much awaited DLC for the Outriders game, which garnered a lot of hype once the game came out. It was on Xbox Game Pass for a pretty good amount of time. It was also had that beta where you could, or that beta, not that beta, but that demo where everything carried over. So it was something that a lot of people played and got a pretty good amount of fanfare. However, Square Enix said they weren't making no money, and the developer said they weren't seeing any profit from it. So I'm surprised that this DLC dropped, considering everything.
I mean, I'll speak from my experience with the game, because I was one of those ones, like when the demo dropped or whatever, I played it. A lot of bugs. Just the demo was rough, and I feel like that's where they lost a lot of their steam. They put out a demo that was not complete from a technical standpoint.
Right.
Like once you got into the game or whatever, like, it was enjoyable, but it was like such a bumpy road just to get into the game. And then they wanted to make it feel like the real game. So it was like, you can join up with your friends and do co-op and all this other shit. And it was like, this is great promises, but it's not working. Like the demo might as well have been like a single player experience based on the bugginess for the co-op mode. But because of the cross progression thing or whatever, or the carryover progression, I was like, let me just go ahead and get a game a chance. I enjoyed what I got to play or whatever. It rolled out. Rollout wasn't all that great, but I enjoyed the game. They started to get things into the game to make it more like work better. And the game started, playing, but then they made these grand promises at the beginning of like there being like all of this after play and replay value and stuff, kind of making it seem as if it would be akin to like Destiny or something.
Right.
And they kind of fell short on that. Like this is the, I think, second DLC since the game has came out, but you wouldn't know that because the first one didn't really get talked about like that.
This is the second one?
Yes.
Oh, I thought this was the first one.
No, this is the second DLC that they're doing for this game. And the first DLC, it wasn't bad. Like it added some more stuff to the game as far as like playability once you complete the main storyline. But it was they could have saved that. It was like maybe extra 2 or 3 hours of gameplay, and then you just rerunning the same missions over again to unlock better guns. It was not worth the trouble. But I don't know. I watched the trailer for this Worldslayer DLC because they announced it during the last State of Play or the one before.
Right.
And I was interested because they're adding more to the story. You thought the story was complete after you beat the game. They didn't really add much to the story after the first DLC, but it looks like there's going to be a new boss in this one. Like they reworking some of the character classes and things like that. So I might go back to, because I only beat the game using one of the character classes and there's 3 other ones I could use. So I might, run it back if the DLC is like worth me continuing to play Outriders after this DLC has like ran this course.
Right.
We'll see. But Yeah, they on their last leg in the eyes of the fans, because it was definitely a terrible beginning. So many bugs and things, and people was beating the game and was like, I thought we was going to be supposed to be able to do more. I thought it would be like an open world kind of feeling to it afterwards, where we could just, do different shit. And it wasn't like that. It was pretty much like, if you want to keep playing the game, then you can rerun these same raids over again just for better guns. And it was like, people don't want to do that, especially when the legendary guns were like dropping so frequently. It was like, it was hard in the beginning, then they made it too easy, then they made it like pick your own difficulty. Like, it was a lot of weird stuff happening with this game. But
got you.
Like I said, trailer got me at least interested in maybe checking it out.
All right, cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, thanks, Brian, for that, wonderful take on Outriders. Ladies and gentlemen, either playing the game or you're not. That's pretty much what it comes down to. And hopefully, if you're playing the game, this DLC is something you definitely would want to play. If not, maybe it's something you would take a gander at. I don't know. Is it still on Game Pass? I can't see if you're not playing a game that you buy this DLC if it's not free.
Right. It might be still on Game Pass. I wouldn't. I don't know. First of all, do you know if there's a price tag on this DLC? Is it going to be free? I didn't get that part.
Usually, when these are part of the game releases, it's usually a price tag.
Okay.
Like, I know there's a price tag with Cuphead, definitely.
Okay.
And probably with Fobia as well. So I would bet money on this. That is a price tag.
Well, I'm gonna just say this: if it's not free, I'm gonna probably just leave it where it's at. Because
understood.
I do. I really enjoyed the game once they got all the functionality together with it. Like, the co-op started working really well. The guns were fun to like buy and sell, and hunt certain missions for legendaries and stuff. There's a lot to the game that the potential is high. It's just, they have some more trust rebuilding to do with the community. I'll say that.
Got you.
Maybe Worldslayer can do it.
All right. Well, that's that as far as Outriders is concerned. Let's talk about some more DLC. In this case, we talked about the Switch wasn't getting any love, because I don't think any of the games that we talked about thus far, outside of Cuphead, are even on the Switch. And with this one is the one that's only on the Switch and PC by extension, but that is Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak. So the Monster Hunter series is a humongous series. I mean, no way to get around that one.
Right.
And at least in America, it's only on, at least the Rise is only on the Switch. I forget if the other one or the mainline series is on PlayStation also, but I know this is just okay. Yeah. So this is something, this series, or the Rise series, is just a Switch exclusive. And it's interesting because I've never really cared. Actually, no, Monster Hunter, the regular series, is also on Xbox as well. I forgot, because they had it on Game Pass for a hot second. Totally forgot about that. But the Rise sub series is exclusively to a Nintendo on the Switch. It is phenomenal with regards to the sales, and this DLC adds more content to the game. Right. I'm trying to see what exactly, but it's substantial. It needs to be for the price tag of $39.99. It better be. Yeah.
Then it's probably going to be a pretty big DLC. You mentioned before, like, the mainline game or whatever is on Xbox and PlayStation, which it is. I actually play Monster Hunter like sporadically whenever I'm in the mood to just do something frivolous, like go hunt monsters, and then I'll play it. But the Monster Hunter Rise series was created specifically for the Switch, because obviously the Switch doesn't have the capabilities that Xbox and PlayStation does as far as graphics and processors and all that other stuff. So they couldn't fit the original game on the Switch. So they say, you know what, we'll chop a lot of the extra things that we've included for people to enjoy and just give the Switch, the Rise, which is like a base game. It's to get you into the overall experience, hopefully transfer some Switch players over to Xbox and PlayStation so they play the real game. Now, I do like that they're adding a DLC because, I mean, from what I come to understand, like people like the Rise version for Switch.
Okay.
Like they enjoy it. It's not as detailed as the main games or whatever. Like there's not a lot of extra to like cloud you from the actual goal of the game. So people have been enjoying it. So I mean, hopefully, what is this? Do we have a trailer? We don't. I want to see what it's about. I'm gonna check that out later because I want to know what they're adding as well. I know.
Yeah, it just says expansion. I was trying to see if it gave like detailed as to what exactly is in this expansion, but I would hope that it's pretty substantial if it's $40.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's the thing. That's why I want to know what they're adding because usually all the DLCs for this game are $40. It's either 20 or 40, like somewhere in that price range.
Right.
And normally the $40 ones, because I think we're on like DLC 5 for like the main games or whatever. I think. Yeah. Either way, the $40 ones tend to like they add like a whole new section of the map for you to explore, like 3 new monsters, a whole nother like boss battle. Like they add a bunch of things in these DLCs. So I'm interested to know what's coming to the Switch, because the whole purpose of the game was for it to be a condensed version, and now they're adding DLC, which is probably gonna make it a bigger game than it's probably intended to be. So I'm interested.
Oh, definitely, me too. I'm interested in watching playthroughs.
Yeah, it's a lot to do on Monster Hunter. Like, it's literally a game of you hunting monsters.
Right. So last but not least is another racing game. And this one is for all of our F1 fans out there. And it's F1 22. And this is again on Mr. Switch. Don't know why, but it's on the PS4 and 5, Xbox One, SX, and PC. And of course, it's F1. It's a racing game. So if you are very much into F1 racing, that Formula Series, this is the game that you're looking for every single year. And I know nothing about F1. I know nothing. Look, I'm a child of the 80s, so it's not like Andretti and them. That's F1, right? Is there a difference between F1 and IndyCar?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
It is.
I don't know.
But listen, they all cars and they all race. They might as well be Fast and Furious 10, 11, 12.
We ain't talking about Fast and Furious video games, okay?
You're right.
But speaking of F1 22, let's go into the trailer for F1 22. And this one actually talks about the actual game features for the game, so we can see all this entailed.
That's good. Because as these games progress, like what are they adding that's making it want to continue to buy other than like stuff that people add as a DLC?
I don't know. That's why I like the fact that games like Forza Motorsports, even Horizon, as well as Gran Turismo, aren't yearly.
Right.
Like this looks sweet though. I would give it that. This is, I believe, all in-game engine gameplay.
And you know what? I don't know, over the years, there's been games, like what's the other big racing game that's F1? Is it, I can't think of the name.
That's the one from Codemasters, I think.
There's another one. Either way, these racing games, they do a lot to try to look as realistic as possible. Right. I actually like that it's like, like I don't know. Something about racing just made me feel like I like a little cartoonishness to it.
Yeah.
Saying all that to say, the graphics and the art style of this particular game are enjoyable. I'm not hating this at all. I don't know if you can customize. What are you doing? Oh, okay.
It has like a customize your living area with cars and your trophies and all that good stuff. A la 2K's My Crib from back in the day.
Right. It looked like you can join a racing team, and it looked like you can also become a streamer.
Looks like it. Well, that means local multiplayer for split screen. That's my pet peeve. A lot of games nowadays don't include a local multiplayer, especially games like this. I don't think Forza Horizon 5 has local multiplayer.
That's the Horizon.
I may be wrong about that, but I don't think it does. So a lot of the newer games, especially racing games, are foregoing that local multiplayer, which I think really sucks. That couch multiplayer is really where the exploration of a lot of games have happened over the years, and to totally forego that is really a travesty in my opinion. So I'm glad that looks like F122 has that couch multiplayer going.
Yeah.
Let me be frank, it seems like only kart racers do couch multiplayer nowadays.
Yeah. For whatever reason, there has been a shift in the gaming industry where I guess the developers feel like family time games and games for, friends and people to like congregate together and play in the same room are only for Switch, and PlayStation and Xbox are like solo player or online games. But I don't know. It's weird, but I agree. I've noticed that anytime racing games or even shooting games, like I think Call of Duty might be the only one that still does like a split screen situation. Maybe Battlefield, I'm not sure. I'm not really versed on those games that well, but I do notice that there's always this thing where it's like, oh nah, local co-op, or local like versus players or whatever, but you can't split screen. I'm like, why the hell not? If fighting games take that away, it's over. It's over.
Oh, I don't think fighting games can do that though, because fighting games, they can't rely on online. It's just not. Yeah. It's not possible.
Yeah,
I think it's like in the very nature of how they're built. Like you cannot rely on online.
Yeah, but I mean, those lobbies, they'd be intense.
Yeah, they are.
Speaking
of fighting games, people. Let's go into the trailer for DNF Duel. I keep wanting to say Duel for some reason. Dungeon and Fighter. That's what you want. I'm not familiar with this game at all.
But it looks like a fighting game I'll play because it does. It reminds me of like Guilty Gear.
You're talking about online modes.
SNK, like it has that style to it. I mean, I like where fighting games have gone as far as it being like an open map or whatever. The camera like follows everybody around, but I like a good 2D fighter. Put me on the course and let me fight. Put me on my opponent. This thing look good though.
It does.
Oh look, let's talk about a local mode arcade.
I like how they have that RPG element where you get the break and all that good stuff. And of course the game with the points you collect. That's a nice touch.
And that's something that I feel like fighting games they got away from that they necessarily shouldn't have. Like I think about playing like in the earlier days playing like Mortal Kombat or whatever, like you pick a character that has a story. Like every character as you fight, and like you're learning something about their history or something. I want them to put that in more games. Like, I pick a character to fight through an entire story mode, quote unquote, with like, give me a story mode to do it.
Right, exactly. Yeah, it looks interesting. Like I said, the RPG elements definitely have my interest peaked.
And that is coming out for
PlayStation and PC.
5 and PC.
Yep.
The PC lobby is going to be crazy.
Yeah, it is.
I might check that out, though. I like games like this. Well, fighting games, anyway. Last one I played was, the DBZ fighter or whatever, and lobbies. Sweaty lobbies.
Okay. Let's get into something a bit more, supposed to be lighthearted, but it's the game that makes you want to throw your controller at the television, and that's Cuphead coming to us with the delicious last course.
Okay. Wait, so it's the last Cuphead game?
Yeah,
Or
it's a DLC, and they're supposed to be done with it after this.
I gotta give it.
MDHR. I always forget the D.
Looks like it's bon voyage to our old pals Cuphead, Bugman, and the lovely Miss Chalice. They're off on their next adventure, this time to the fabled DLC Island. What challenges await in this enchanted land? What better way to explore the island than with a leisurely climb into the mountains? Just remember to watch your step. Or perhaps the icy tundra is more to your liking. Don't forget to pack your mittens. Look out for a walloping winter whale.
Just love the presentation.
Next stop, the dramatic Western Plains under the watchful eye of Sheriff Winchester. Yee-haw! But what's this? Why, it's Chef Saltbaker with his famous cookies. He's the best baker in the land.
What is this?
His cookies are sure to put some pep in your step. Oh! And you'll need it. For there's a new challenge waiting around every corner on the amazing DLC Island.
Okay. I like the trailer.
Right, exactly. The game itself, it's a bit hard, but it's fun. It's,
okay.
A bit hard is an understatement, but it's a fun game. And like I said, I just marvel at the artistry of the game and how much went into it. And the fact that it's all hand drawn just always blows me away.
Dope.
Yeah.
I might
this will be
it
for that.
Cuphead. Where is it? Where is it going to? Switch?
Everything. Switch,
everything.
PC, PlayStation, and Xbox. So it's on everything.
Oh, I don't know.
Except Stadia.
Which, Stadia, let me talk to you for 2 seconds. What Apple Arcade is doing, that's what you guys should do. And that's what I'll leave it at.
What not just Apple Arcade, what Amazon Luna is doing.
Also,
yeah.
See that? 2 great models, what you could be doing, but you're trying to be
a console in the cloud, which
right
already is like an oxymoron.
It's not, I don't know, but if you guys don't want the money, it's fine. It's okay.
Right, exactly. Well, clearly they don't want the money. All right. Last but not least,
Stadia, though, and turn it into something big. I think that would be dope. Like if Apple bought Stadia and then was like, "Oh, now look what you can do with your Apple TV."
Well, right now they're losing. Well, they're using and allowing other companies to put their logos and everything on top of your user. I believe AT&T. I feel like they just gave away a copy of the Medium Cloud Edition to subscribers of a certain plan now. It's like something so, and that's using the state of technology to allow the customers to play Medium. Is it Medium? No, is it Medium? Control. That's what it is. I don't know why I'm thinking Medium, but Control as part of their plan through the cloud. So that's part of what Google's doing now, is where they're farming out, allowing other people to utilize the technology to build their own platform on top of it. It's still Stadia. It's just now it's, hey, you can play this game in the cloud free of charge with your service in the case of AT&T.
Okay.
So yeah, but the push for Stadia that we saw when it started with as a quote unquote console in the cloud, that's dead and gone. There was no going back to that. So Google's trying to find other ways to, if not make money on technology, utilize technology going forward.
Okay. Good move.
Yeah, they promised too much though and didn't deliver. And that's the biggest issue with Stadia. They said they could do all these things and would do all these things, and there's so many things that still haven't come to pass.
Right.
And they said it was a beta, but they launched it like it was a fully baked product, and that was their biggest issue. Like you don't do this humongous launch for something that's half baked, and you say it's half baked. Don't get me wrong, but you don't present it as something being half baked.
Right.
And that was the biggest issue with Stadia. Outside of the fact that why am I paying for a game I don't even have to download to? Yes, we have our issues with PlayStation and Xbox and Nintendo when it comes to downloading games
from the cloud. Yes,
and from the cloud, and having, or even just having those games as part of the system and knowing there are issues there as far as DRM. We know that, but at least I got that digital whatever on my system.
Right.
So there may come a day when there's a way around the DRM based on that. Buying something in the cloud, that there is no download with that. It's there. And
you
if Stadia, right, if you can't stream it, look, we've talked about the issues that Kingdom Hearts has had on the Switch being cloud only.
Yeah.
Why is that cloudy on? I don't know, but that's what it is. But we can go let's rabbit hole all day. Let's get to our last trailer of the day, Escape Academy, and that's on everything except for Switch, if I remember correctly. Yes. PlayStation 4, 5, Xbox One, SX, and PC. Again, no Stadia.
What are you waiting for? Left. A room full of memory gas.
But this looks like something that could perfectly fit on the Switch, though. So I don't know why it's not there.
Always are. Every game that don't go to Switch, be like, you can put this on Switch, and they just treat it like
there are 100 million plus Switches.
Right.
You can make a crappy version of this game, and you probably get a nice return on it.
I saw potential in you. Ah, there you are.
See what Monster Hunter did. We're gonna figure out a way to port this game over to the Switch.
Welcome to the Academy.
What's up? It's not the first time my art's been torn to shreds.
Greetings. Dishonesty has no place at the Academy.
Hey there! Enough water! They're already hydrated!
My star student.
Yeah, I'm still baffled why this is on the Switch.
I was just getting ready to say that. Like,
the hell have we gotten
moving
ourselves
around with a
into?
cursor.
Art style wise, it's perfect.
Yeah, art style too.
Oh, yep, I was right. It's on Game Pass. Day one. I probably won't be playing this day one simply because I'm still playing Turtles. That's the only game I care about right now.
That's a good choice, now.
That is it. So that's it for the games this week. Brian, what's coming up with you this week?
I don't know. I am currently designing the next episode of the Talk+Play blerdcast. You know, me and this, that's because I'm right-handed. I'm designing my next episode. I don't really know what's about to happen. There's a lot of well, not a lot, but there's some things dropping at the end of this week that I might be interested in discussing. So might push it back, but I don't want to. So I probably won't. Definitely though, episode 4 of Miss Marvel, gonna talk about that.
Right.
P-Valley is also being very entertaining. Have to discuss that. I don't know. Whatever I want to blurt out about, that's where I'll be discussing it.
Sounds good.
All I got coming this week.
Sounds good. Well, this week when I record, obviously talking Miss Marvel as well, talking about the latest episode of Star Trek Strange New Worlds. I finally watched Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. So
did you?
Yes. So I definitely will have opinions on that. And I also watched the latest Fantastic Beasts movie as well. I did a double header of that the other night. So
I need to watch that.
Yeah, I was I will say this. I enjoy those movies a lot more than I think I would most of the time. The
Fantastic Beasts ones?
Yes.
Yeah, man. Listen, I be trying to tell people like, hey, give it a chance. It's not Harry and them, but
and that's fine.
Yeah. But that's been a lot of people's hangups. Like, oh, there's no Harry, there's no Dumbledore. Well, in this movie, we see a little iteration, but
right. I'm fine with that. I think with this one, there was so much hate on it, which kind of like just distracted me from wanting to see it. And also, it seemed like such a long gap between the second one and this one. Because when we were watching it, we were trying to remember what happened. Because like, how long has it been since we watched the second movie?
And that's why I haven't watched the third one yet. I had to go back and watch the first two, and then I forgot the third one was in theaters. Is it on HBO Max yet?
Yeah, that's how we watched it on HBO Max.
So I'm gonna watch that like ASAP because I enjoy the Fantastic Beasts series. Yeah. I think it got a lot of hate because it's American, but it is what it is. Because there's also a part of the story with Fantastic Beasts that they haven't really delved into the way that the Wizarding World fans would have liked.
Right.
So there's that as well. Because we have, well, according to Wizarding World lore, America has its own Hogwarts and own houses and things. Like we have our own world, but they haven't.
Okay.
Yeah, they're supposed to be showcasing it in the Fantastic Beasts series, but they haven't done that. So
I assumed everybody went to Hogwarts.
No, it's every because if you think about it, which was it? I think it was book 4 or 5, whatever the Goblet of Fire was. They had other schools come in.
Yes, I do remember that. Okay, yes.
Yeah.
I've seen all the movies, so
from that book, we learned that like every well, not every, but most major continents have their own Wizarding World school or whatever. And then America has one, but they haven't explored it in the Fantastic Beasts series quite yet. So we'll see.
Cool. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you've got your Wizarding World knowledge drop for today.
I'm trying.
So, Brian, where can they find you on social medias, Instagram? Where can they find you?
Oh, this is the app. You might have missed it. I don't talk about it as much as I probably should, but this is where I'm at. Instagram, there's a Twitter that this also works for. I think my TikTok is the same as well, but you know,
it is.
I don't participate in TikTok like the rest of the TikTokers do. So Instagram and Twitter will probably be best, but you know what I'm saying? If you there, just hit a follow button, comment, you know, and then I'll be here on this YouTube channel, Nerds Rule the World, doing the checkpoint with WebsterStyle, wherever he is on your screen. I think, is it this way, to the right or left? I don't know. I'm pointing a lot, but he's here and we do this every week.
All righty. Thank you, Brian. And of course, you can find me everywhere on the internet at WebsterStyle on TikTok and not TikTok, on Twitter and Instagram _ WebsterStyle on TikTok. And trust me, I am not shaking my chesticles on TikTok or anything like that.
Right.
But I am there obviously talking all geekery and fragrances, just like the name says, the man, the voice, the fragrance. But of course, you can also find everything and anything that is WebsterStyle, WebsterStyle.com. But you ain't come here for that. You didn't come here for Talk+Play blerdcast. You came here because you are with the nerds who rule the world, where nerds rule the world. On Twitter at the NRW, on Instagram at New Release Wednesday, and of course, you're on YouTube, so make sure you like, share, and subscribe.
Please and thank you.